So I absolutely love this comment because she touches on something that most people don't even talk about or even realize. Everything in our world is about men. Hear me out. What she's referring to is every clinical study that has ever been done for health, for fitness, for beauty, for big pharma, for anything, even economical status.
Economical status?
All those studies have always been performed on men. Dr. Mindy Pell talks about this, and I think it's genius to figure out why. The reason for this is because men provide cheap data. What do I mean by cheap data? A man's biological cycle runs in 24 hours. The easiest way to understand this and the most applicable is when a man wakes up, his testosterone is at its highest peak. That would explain what happens to them in the morning. Whereas a woman's cycle is literally 28 to 30 days long. So you cannot perform clinical tests, especially regarding maybe fitness and weightlifting on a group of women unless they're all in the exact same stage of their cycle. Why? Well, a woman should not be working out in the first week of her cycle the same way she would work out in, say, the last week of her cycle. But to perform that study on a man is easy because they all are on 24-hour cycles. Men are so much less complicated than women, and this is not an insult, but mentally, emotionally, physically, they are so much less complicated than the female body and the female mind and the female emotions. So they allow for cheap data. To perform those exact same studies on a group of women would take so much more work, so much more money, and honestly, so much more knowledge that most industries don't even have. That is why we are not the same. We are not equal. Equal in opportunity, yes, but women are not men. But what I love are people like Dr. Mindy Pell, who wrote books Fast Like a Girl, because they are taking knowledge that was previously only performed on men, and they're now changing and evolving it to fit women. Not enough research has been done on women. The biohacking industry is huge right now. I started a biohacking page on Instagram, but it's all based on men. Dave Asprey, David Brecka, I don't know his name. But all of these biohackers are really all men. They don't have any clue how biohacking would work for a woman. And just to do all the biohacking that was done on that guy who took his kid's plasma, I can't remember his name. Brian Johnson, I just looked it up. Apparently, he is the most studied man in the entire world, and they've already spent $4.5 million on testing every aspect of his body and his cycle and his circadian rhythm and his erections and everything. But to do that for a woman, that would probably take $15 million. So I'm excited to see the future where more studies are done and performed on women by women and see where that leads us in these industries like big pharma, fitness, health, everything. But yeah, that's a very good point. Tell me your thoughts.